We're live.
Yes, yes. Jackson said 11:35. It's 11:35 in St. Louis on December 4th, 2025. If Jackson tells you something, brother, and a lot of sisters who I know are listening, you can count on it.
And here we are, right at 11:35. Glad I included that 5 minutes just to be safe, and that was prudent. So we're good.
Yeah, because if it was 11:30,
Be late.
I mean, I'd have you pinned up against the wall, my finger in your chest, and you wouldn't know what hit you.
Well, more likely my navel.
Wow. Oh, so we're going to do that today.
I know. It's low-hanging fruit.
We're going to do that today.
Low-hanging fruit, literally.
We're going to do that today. That's what we're going to do. It's a QFTA for the ages. The name of the program is called the Tim McKernan Show Podcast. And we welcome you to send in questions, comments, preferably erotic stories, but we are in about a 17-month drought on those.
Boy, are we.
I'm telling you. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. I really hyped it up. I've got so much today, I don't know if the 90 minutes we're going to do is enough. I really don't. Because Jackson and I are leaving from here, and we're going to Elevate Golf, which is where I go and practice. And then when I want to enjoy a libation and dining, I go to 5-iron golf.
Yeah, you got it covered.
For practice. That's in Clayton on Forsyth. 5-iron golf's where I get working because they have these instructors that I've gotten to know, and it's more of like a golf practice place. And the beginning of Jackson Burkett's golf greatness is starting today, December 4th, 2025.
I sure hope so.
It's going to be eye-opening. I can't wait to see it. I'm buying stock.
Right.
I saw some people when I was on TMA saying this morning, texting in, Tim, you've been saying you're buying stock in Jackson's golf game for years. At what point?
Right. Well, listen, sometimes you hold on to the stock for a long time.
And you're going to be handsomely rewarded.
Right. It's patience. Good things come to those who wait.
So that's what we got. Then we got the Hubbard Radio Christmas party at 3 o'clock. So Elevate's in Lake St. Louis. It's got to be good if I'm driving to Lake St. Louis.
Ain't that the truth?
I just at 364 Yahweh's Highway, and then our Hubbard Radio party is at in Cottleville.
Yep.
So we'll do that. You are not going to have boat drinks.
No boat drinks. No boat. It's not the time for boat drinks. That would be very out of season.
No.
It's the time for
Scotch.
Scotch. Yeah, definitely brown liquor. Maybe a heavier beer. Red wine, all of those things are more winter alcoholic beverages.
I agree with that. So that's what we got going on here today. So we have an itinerary of some form. And yet Jackson was still able to deliver right at 11:35. I talked about QFTA. It was fresh on my mind. God, I got so many things. I really need to do what Martin does, and I'm glad you've noticed the notes that he writes.
Yeah.
But he did that when we started the morning grind.
Yeah.
And he would come in, and I would go, God, how does he keep track of that shit?
Yeah. I think it's the act of writing it. It puts it deeper in your memory if you write it out.
I think that's what I asked him about. I wish I would have done that for this because I'm going to forget plenty of things. But I did promote QFTA on TMA today. So we have, God only knows how many emails in the QFTA file. T. McKernan at Inside STL. And I'm going to do everything I can to just read every single one of them. Then we've got the YouTube chat. You just have to be watching. Iggy's in there, isn't he? Yes, he is.
So they turned down a threesome.
Wow. Now I'm totally going to be off track. Iggy says he turned down a threesome couple months ago. Iggy, can you call in? What is the number in here?
I don't remember, and I know that there's an issue in this phone.
Wow, Jackson wants to keep Iggy off the show. How about that, Iggy? What do you think about that?
We can
this
hear
motherfucker, huh?
We can hear them, but they can't hear us.
The audience can hear Iggy's threesome story, and they win.
Yeah,
and then we'll go back and listen while we're driving to Lake St. Louis.
But if I know an Iggy story, there'll be times where we might need to interject to ask some questions.
No.
Not for the validity of the story, just for more context.
Got it.
If I know an Iggy story.
Iggy can tell the story in the...
tell you.
Or just email me.
That'd be
That'd be greatest. Then we'd have an erotic story for the first time in 17 months.
I feel like the last one was and I don't mean to kink shame, I never would, some sort of golden shower situation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rainbow showers, scat play, and golden showers. And yes, you're right. We don't kink shame, but that ain't going to get my synapses going. I'll tell you this.
Ooh, here we go.
I think I can share this. My wife last night sends me a text. I don't think I'm violating the NDA that she had to sign. I didn't sign one. And it's called the pegging clause. if I'm not annoying you, how much would you hate doing?
That's a good start.
But that's what happens after you've been together for nearly 2 decades.
Sure.
And then she listed a series of things that if I were to read these, you'd go, well, there's no way in the world you're doing those.
Yeah.
Oh, I will if.
Right.
And all I said was, super cool if we can have a threesome the following Saturday. And then she gave me an emoji, and I don't know what it means.
Ooh, okay.
And so I actually
I'm good at this.
looked into the emoji to try and figure out what it means. And then she made reference to her party with her friends. We've talked about the Naughty Nine.
99, Charles Oakley.
The Naughty Nine Christmas party, which I've attended a number of times. Sometimes, some years I make it, sometimes I don't. Naughty Nine is the Christmas party is the night before, so plenty of opportunities there. And she's joking. And then if this is going to go down, and it's not, but I'm just playing this out. Since
Right.
Iggy's having a threesome, I want to have one. It's not going to be with one of her friends.
Right.
Number one, they're not interested in me, which is how I always operate. And then number two, I don't want it to be with somebody.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? It needs to be with
Then
a
there'll be
stranger.
grad parties down the road. We have to see each other.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah. You want it to be.
Sorry, I couldn't get hard. How are the family?
You want it with someone who's like passing through town.
Right.
Like not only do you not know them, they don't live here.
Yeah.
That would be
And St. Louis
ideal.
has so many tourists.
Well, yeah. People just flying down I-70 every day looking for love.
Iggy said, I would have put up with him if she was attractive. So it sounds like the threesome proposal was a rough one.
Find a nickel.
Man. So I got that going on. What else do I have going on here? Oh, the QFTA thing. So we have this podcast meeting yesterday. I don't know what I can and can't talk about.
Fair.
I need to ask Tommy because he's probably going to go, yeah. So I remember saying, I don't know what it was. It was about the downloads. When we first came over here, and they're like, holy shit, have you seen the downloads TMA is getting? And I'm like, can we say that publicly? And he goes, yeah, why wouldn't you be able to? And I go, well, it was an awkward thing at KFNS because some of the shows at KFNS didn't like that our downloads were so high. This is going back years ago. And in hindsight, it's like, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just the cookie crumbles.
Right. So anyway, I don't know what we can't say and can't say. So it's Riz and me, Hubbard Marty. He's a delight.
Love that Hubbard Marty.
Loyal listener of QFTA, doesn't like when we have erotic stories, so he's enjoyed the last 17 months. He's like, I can't get over the fact that you and Jackson sit there and basically read porn to each other in this small room. Yeah. And I feel like that's out of line.
Well, it's certainly not sex positive, which this show has been built on.
Amen. Yeah, it's the Holly Randall of St. Louis. And Tommy was in there, and then a couple of people, one from Seattle, one from Chicago with the podcasting. Hubbard's got a new podcasting wing. And then some more management folks, and they're like, okay, so they go through the Riz show and some things they want to do with the Riz show, and then they turn to me and they go, TMA, I mean, what can we say? It's killing it. And then they kind of go through some of the numbers, and I'm like, that's great. I don't understand these. They're ratings. They're apparently great, but I don't understand them because we've always been on stations without ratings, so I don't know. Sure. But it's wonderful. And then Riz goes, dude, look at this. This is great. And I go, I know this sounds, they're laughing at me because I don't understand it. And Marty goes, here, look at this number where it was. Look at where it was, and now look where it is. That's great. And then he sits back down. I'm like, okay, I still don't understand it. Yeah. But anyway, then they said, the only thing with TMA, I go, oh, this is going to be good. We're going to hear something.
Good.
We need to work on how you guys title the podcast. The way you title, I said, I don't title a podcast. I don't even know what we title the podcast. They said, so we opened up the titles of the podcast.
TMA, the date, hour, and then usually.
But then the hour is like something obscure, like what Scott Van Pelt, for example, does.
Right. That's how we've been doing.
And they said the listeners who've been listening for years probably really enjoy it. But when you're reaching out and growing the audience, it needs to have like what you actually talked about, which you do in show notes. That's Kurt, Chairman Kurt.
Yeah.
But the titles, I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, talked about that. Then they said, and they wanted me to start doing, they're interested, they made a proposal for me to start doing another thing, which I'm interested in, you're aware of, but I don't know if that's for public consumption, so that's neither here nor there for the purposes. And then they go, QFTA, the third most listened to podcast in St. Louis, it's Riz Show, TMA, and then the Tim McKernan Show. And they go, but you don't really do it consistently. I'm like, I do it pretty consistently.
Once a week.
Right. They said, but you guys go so long. And I said, well, I go. And Jackson is kind of patient with it. And they said, why not, if you do sit there for 2 hours or so, break it up into 5 episodes and you could release it daily.
Ah, okay. So that's where I was confused on.
And I was surprised you thought that was a bad idea because I thought it was a good idea, but I don't know what the fuck goes on.
So
I don't know if I come in, give me a microphone, I'll talk. It's all I'm interested in doing.
When you brought this up on TMA earlier today, I thought what you were saying was instead of doing a 3-hour episode, doing it every day for 40 minutes.
Oh, no.
God, okay.
That just wouldn't work for all the other stuff.
Recording
we
and,
both
then,
have going
and then
on.
breaking it up. That makes sense. And
Okay.
I like that.
I thought it would make sense, but when you said it doesn't, I'm like, oh, Jackson would know better than I do.
No, that makes total sense. I thought you were saying doing a 40-minute every day.
No.
Because we did that, if you
We
remember.
did that, I think maybe it was last January.
Yeah, and that was fine, but once the weather got warmer, we both agreed that it was not sustainable.
I got to go compress.
Yeah, so, okay. I get that. Yes, that would be good.
Okay. So maybe that's the move.
Yeah, but
they're
then,
like,
we probably couldn't do it live.
I don't know. We could do it live. And then you
Yeah,
could,
just break it up.
and another thing. This I actually did put in my notes, but this is more on the things to do. I listened to the David Freese, Pat Maroon interview for the first time since we conducted it.
Yeah, you were texting me about it last night.
And I can't, Jamie Burkhardt Munganast actually called me while we were recording, or while I was listening to it. And I started saying, I said, I don't ever, I think people say this and I don't know if they really mean it. I truly don't like to listen to or watch myself. I don't know what that.
I think it might be healthy. I don't know. It might be unhealthy. I'm not sure.
Well, I was watching in a podcast Gabby Carter did this week. What is the name of that podcast that I enjoy? The guy's he gets good guests.
TMA Hour 3.
Yeah, might be it. God, what is it? It's got the biting lips thing that recovering alcoholic sends in a lot. That's the logo for it.
Okay.
Pillow Talk. So Gabby Carter was on, and he's like, "This is my white whale. I've been waiting to get Gabby Carter on." I'm like, "We had Gabby Carter on the day of the Blues Stars Game 5, and we were doing the show live from, was it Blondie's or Rosalita's in 2019? I know you weren't with us.
Probably Rosalita. Right?
I know we're down on Wash. Iggy, if you're still in there, you might be able to let us know on that one." And Gabby Carter was saying she masturbates to herself.
Oh, now that might be unhealthy.
Okay.
Narcissistic, maybe?
I don't know.
Or maybe just self...
Like she goes on Pornhub and finds her scenes, and that's what she masturbates to.
If it was a solo scene, then I think it might be narcissistic.
No, it's her with other guys,
Then that
which
makes sense.
then she says makes her boyfriend or husband uncomfortable. Is that a cuck? Iggy, this is great that you're in there.
I would say...
Iggy says it was Blondie. So this is wonderful to have Iggy in.
So I think if she was just watching it, like doing the scene is not a cuck, because that's just work. Watching it later is now entering into cuckold territory. I feel.
That the gentleman's being cucked.
That the husband would be, yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's like not only... Like doing the scene is one thing. That's just you gotta put food on the table. But then to watch it back is like, oh my God, it was so good that I need to re-experience that visually.
Yeah.
That might be a cuck.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But I'm not an expert in the topic.
So it was, I went into it going, I feel like maybe one other time I had listened to like clips of it and I couldn't stand. So we're going to release this interview finally.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's kind of like when we were going to 101 and I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, right. You
told you I didn't really think it was Nostradamus-like.
Yeah.
And it has played out.
Exactly like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But either way, here is what will happen. Well, that wasn't worth it.
Right.
Now, I hesitate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to draw an analogy that you will be able to relate to more than anybody. Because we were just talking about that live remote from Hot Shots during COVID, in which Martin's guy, John Hadley, sent me and you out to do the remote, but protected Iggy and Doug,
Yep.
kept them at home, and Jennings came out and did it with us at Hot Shot St. Charles.
Yep. I got in trouble for that because I didn't send him my show plan beforehand.
The old TMA show plan.
Yeah. But the funny thing is I did send it to him. He just didn't read it.
Well, that's on you.
Absolutely.
And at that remote, that was the first time Jay Randolph Jr. had met you. I had met you, but it was the first time we'd worked together in person
Correct.
because I was doing the show remotely during COVID. And Jay was going, I really like this guy. I go, I got to tell you something, Jennings. I'm super high on him, but I know there's no bigger hater of me than a passionate listener of TMA. It's a very, someday there'll be a study done on it. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so because I'm real high on him, I don't want to publicly endorse him because then those who are obsessed with hating on me and their group chats and the pages, then they will hate on Jackson by proxy, and he's only 22 and he's not ready for this. Like I wanted to watch The Godfather with my 8-year-old last night, and I thought,
yeah, not ready.
I guess not.
Although I think he'd enjoy the wedding scene. I think everyone would enjoy the wedding scene.
I don't know.
Maybe not the Jimmy Kahn part.
So it's like you gotta kind of, like Iggy's in there. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. You get shit on constantly. It's just one of those things, and then it gets to a point. It's like you don't.
You get associated with you, then you get the hate that comes with it.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I remember vividly that show. That was back. Oh boy, I really did not know my ass from a hole in the ground. It's not to say I know much more now. But when we would do anything like best ofs or something like that, I would play the next day, I would have to put live reads in there. And this was before I really knew anything. And so I just put them in there willy-nilly. Like someone would be in the middle of a sentence.
I bet Hadley got you for that.
And then, boom. No, that would require him to listen and do things there. No, actually, you know what it was? I sent it to his work email. And he goes, well, that's not the email I use. I use some
Why would it be?
Of course. Of course. Why would it be?
Were you able to find the AOL one?
It was exactly what it was. It was an AOL account.
What a time.
That was as we look back on it. I only experienced 1 year of it, so I only got to.
You know what we need to do?
Yeah. I
don't know if he would do it. He might do it. John Kiowski and I met. It was right before I was getting married, so 2011. Again, Rosalita's. Although Iggy said it was Blondie's, where we had the Gabby Carter.
Right next to each other.
Rosalita's, also owned by the McGowans, downtown in Washington. We had lunch. This is 2011. And he's like, I know you have a following. We didn't know each other, but we got together for lunch. He goes, I know you have a following. He goes, but what you guys do and what we do are just two different things. And I wonder, and I think he would say it.
Sure.
I would probably be able to live longer if we would have been able to do a deal in 2011 and be over here 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he would have missed out on some serious trauma.
Oh. And I bet, now that he's kind of seen, he'd be like, yeah, that probably would have been nice for all of us.
Yeah, everyone would have won there.
Oh, God. But yes, you got in on the tail end of that. You experienced that. So I was cognizant, and I think I said to Jay, I don't know if I said it on the show, or I did say it on the show.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I do. I remember. There's a seminal memory for me.
Okay. Said, this guy, I know he's got it, but I don't want to really push it, because then the people who are obsessed with hating me, but yet listen to the show that I host, strangely, will hate him.
Yeah.
And so I gotta I need Doug to talk him up.
Yeah.
Because then he'll be a face and he won't be associated with the heel.
Yeah.
So you gotta meta play this. So how does this tie into the Maroon Freeze interview?
How does it?
It's a really good interview.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm saying that publicly, but even when I get whatever messages, however they come in, about how bad it is, it ain't going to change my mind.
Yeah.
You know? But it's not because of, if anything, it's in spite of me. And the weird thing, when I was going back listening to it, I kept thinking, why am I not asking Pat more questions? But then Freeze, throughout the interview, goes, man, this is really cool. You guys are doing this show together. And then at the end, Freeze goes, this is so fun. You know, there's profanity and being drunk and being high talk throughout. It's going to fuck up 101 listeners. It's going to make them, their worldviews are going to be rocked when they listen to this interview.
Yeah.
Because you got David Freeze and Pat Maroon talking about being shit-faced and high and high or drunk with Mike Trout, you know, and it's just going to be like, well, and then they're friends with me, which then how can that be? It's going to fuck them up. But because it was Pat and I doing a show together, I wasn't interviewing Pat.
Right.
But I have to take myself back to this time in 2020 when Pat and I were doing the show, and this was Pat's idea. And we knew each other, but barely. I don't want to say barely, but we weren't like,
Yeah, friend.
And he just, like, one afternoon, truly, to the point where it almost got, annoying isn't the right word, but I'm like, what the fuck's going on with him right now? He kept calling and texting me. He goes, all right, let's do a podcast. That was 1 o'clock. And by 4 o'clock, we were doing a podcast, and we were having Wayne Gretzky and Dustin Johnson on. And he goes, all right, I talked to Ham. Hammer's in. I'm like, okay. He goes, you know what'd be fucking great is Lance Berkman. I got together with him, and I go, great. I'm going, this guy is producing more for a show I'm involved in 3 hours than anything I've ever done. Mm-hmm. And it's the guy who scored this goal that will live forever 13 months ago and is about to win 2 Stanley Cups, and you don't even know it. 2 more Stanley Cups.
Pro athlete.
And then he goes, I think Freeze would do it. I go, you and Freeze. You are the only 2 who know what it's like.
Right. Yeah, for what they did, like their most important moments here in St. Louis.
Yes.
To be from St. Louis.
And so we certainly talk about Pat's thing, and if anything, Freeze talks with Pat about it more. But since it's me and Pat hosting it, we're interviewing Freeze more. And so I'm aware of that. I'll explain it in the intro when we release the interview. But if you're listening to it, I'm sure people will be like, well, why didn't you ask Pat more? And that's because Pat was hosting it. Pat and I did, I think, 3 interviews. Freeze being one of them, Lance Berkman, another one, and John Hamm, another one. And they're great. We haven't released any of them. But we've had both Maroon and Freeze on since here within the last few months, each of them.
Yep.
And I asked each one of them, I said, you might not even remember this, but remember we did this interview, is it cool if I release it? Because I don't know. I mean, Freeze, you can be a different fucking guy. I'm a different guy in 2025 than I was in 2020. They might be like, but they both gave it the blessing.
Freeze might be the most laid-back guy in the world.
But then you've listened to the whole thing, right?
Yeah. It's been like 2 or 3 years.
He is both those guys are such great guys.
Right.
You also kind of get an idea of why they're successful, certainly with different personalities, I guess. I don't know, but there's some similarities that kind of stand out over it.
Some big differences, but also like at their core, a lot of similarities.
So when Jamie Burkhardt of Munganess called me last night, I was like 3 minutes in. And I'm like, God, I got to listen to this thing because I can't not listen. I can't ask you to listen to it, and because you don't know what is, quote, okay and what isn't. Because I remember there was something about being drunk with Mike Trout and playing video games at his house. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, if they're talking about themselves, it's cool. But if you're bringing in other people,
telling stories about
then I got to circle back with them, because if they're like, yeah, Troy Gloss was passed out with a whore, and it'd be like, oh shit, now we got to make sure. So I got to listen to everything. And I was in the beginning of this thing, and I told Jamie this, and I said, I hate listening to myself. I hate my fucking laugh. I hate when I hear myself interrupt people. I'm so fucking hypercritical. And so I was in the midst of dreading this thing, but I'm like, I want to do this because I know people want to hear it. And even then, I know people are going to shit on it because I'm involved, and it's been a while, and it's just what people do. It's fine. But then there'll be plenty of people who really like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to go through listening to this. And then I got done with it. I go, fuck, that was a really good interview. But the reason it was a good interview was because of those 2 guys. It was a good interview in spite of me. And it was really because we were interviewing Freeze, even though you have Maroon in there. But because Pat and I are the hosts, Freeze goes deep on his drinking, his DWI, how he had to get out of St. Louis. I don't know. It's just I'm looking forward to releasing it, not because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to receive praise for it, because I won't. But I know plenty of people will enjoy it, and it's nice to have that and know that people are going to enjoy something. Yeah. So anyway,
nice
there's
little
that.
Holiday treat.
It's a nice little holiday treat.
Yeah.
But I went into it going, I don't want to listen to this, and then by the end of it, I'm like, this was really fucking good, even though. If I were Pat Maroon during that interview, I would have just flicked me across the room because I was so fucking annoying.
You need like an AI cut of you being sliced out of it for your own listeners.
Yes, and then so I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then also one thing that stands out was June of 2020 when we did it, I believe. Number one, Freeze had literally just had a baby within the last week and had just moved, and yet he's making 90 minutes time to sit there and fuck around with us goofballs while his wife has a newborn and they just moved.
Good guy, man. I love that. Dude.
Both those guys are just
world class.
They really are the best. I know you're not the hockey guy, and I'm not doing that to bust balls. I just don't know what the hell Pat's doing right now because I feel like
he should be in the booth.
Yes, I don't know about the booth.
Well,
he should be on a studio show. Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Couldn't agree more.
And I know he did TNT. I think he did do TNT. Anyway, so that we'll release that. We are 100% going to release it. I've been saying it for a long time, but we are actually going to release it, and I think we'll do it on Monday. I don't know, early next week.
Love it.
So we got that. The QFTA thing, got that. The threesome thing that I don't know if is real, but would be wonderful, but it can't be with one of her friends.
Can't.
Got that. What else do I have going on? Oh, I said I would read every email that was sent in. But you got to when you send emails in, if you could, in the subject line, just write QFTA. And then that way, for whatever reason in my Outlook, things have been going to even people I know. If we haven't exchanged emails in a while, they go to a junk folder, and I didn't realize this. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing emails because I just go through and I empty it.
The other folder is because it's different than junk.
Let's see. Shameless plug. Thank you, Piddles, for doing my sound story last year. My family loved it. You interviewed the Wentzville walking stick? That's in the YouTube chat, by the way.
Wasn't introduced as such, but I'm sure that's the moniker he uses. And love doing every single sound story I've ever done, and appreciate hearing that.
I share that same experience. Yeah. MySoundstory.com if you're interested. I don't know if we've posted any on social media of the new studio.
So cool.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah,
that's not waxing our own car. That's
well, because it's Hubbard's podcast. So if you watch the Spread Zone, where I went 1-6 last week, you're welcome. It's the same studio, but you get that for Soundstory. And then Chairman Kurt, just like he's a director, just switches the cameras the whole time. I mean, it's come a long way since doing them in here or doing them back at the KFNS studio way back there. So you really did interview the Wentzville walking stick, he says.
Nice.
How about that?
Good.
All right. The program is brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. He's online at carltoninsurance.net. And James is not one who just pops off with sales every single time we hear from him. So he is telling us that he's been doing this for 18 years, and he has never seen auto rate renewals and auto rates in general for insurance as low as they are right now. He kind of attempted to explain it to us, but either way, explanation or not, this is the time. Jamie Rivers made the switch. Brandon Kiley made the switch, and they are enjoying the savings for real. I mean, why not spend 2 minutes and call 314-961-4800 and just see if they can save you money? And don't make the switch. Do whatever the hell you want. I would tell you I would make the switch, and then you're going to be working with not only saving money, but a customer service operation that is just, I don't even think about it anymore. And sometimes I'll be bullshitting with people off air, and I'll be like, no, I wouldn't endorse a person if I, and I'm telling them, like James Carlton, like any insurance issue I have, it's borderline enjoyable because it is so hands off, and they take care of everything. Major recommendation, carltoninsurance.net. Then you got Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, evergreen-ws.com, 314-889-0503. He is a wonderful person. I think you ought to have, I don't know, probably the minimum double net worth, maybe 3x if I would have known Mark Hanna 25 years ago. That's how much I fucked up. Save yourself from that. Get on the right path. 314-889-0503. You'll enjoy the phone call. He's a wonderful person. He's online at evergreen-ws.com. And if you're not sold on that, listen to Jackson's slogan.
How much do I like Mark Hanna? Well, I work with him.
I mean, that's...
Looked right down the barrel for that one.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, what a treat for the YouTube viewers. And then Seth Goldcamp, Design Air Heating and Cooling. He's online at designairservice.com. My wife just texted me not about the threesome. But it's so, and then a bunch of frozen emojis out. Why is today, is today worse than...
it was really cold this morning.
I knew that. It feels like 18 degrees as we sit here. Holy shit.
Just awful.
I guess so. High of 31 today, Jackson. If you got any furnace issues, designairservice.com. That's Design Air Heating and Cooling. All right, let me see what's going on in the YouTube chat. Then I'm going to go into my email file, McKernan at InsideSTL.com. 11:35 in the nose. Bravo, MD 2020. Good word, Jackson. Good work, Jackson. Indeed. That's from Brian Henshin. Iggy, I turned down a threesome couple 2 months ago. I wanted Iggy to call in, but Jackson told me that he would be able to talk, but we wouldn't be able to hear him if he called in. Mourn, small reminder that Penn State still doesn't have a coach. That's from Alan Dadeville, and he loves the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia. Jackson, if you had to bet who will be the Penn State coach, you'd probably get
Terry
10 to 1.
Smith.
You think they're going to wind up going there after all this?
I just don't like what I guess they could try for coordinators or certain coaches, but I don't think they're getting anybody from the NFL. Certainly not many big name coaches left. Yeah, I would think they just raise, and maybe it's just 1 year,
Yeah, they could do that deal.
Yeah, but at a certain point, you got to start getting, because Franklin's flipping guys from Penn State over to Blacksburg, so you don't want to be dealing with that much longer. And if the Penn State guys like him, who are there now, and you want to retain some of that roster, maybe it's Terry Smith.
Yeah, the Penn State thing is, I kind of thought, I'm like, oh, they've got a plan. And then it turned out they didn't have a plan, which now makes me believe that Eli Drinkwitz actually was.
Yeah, for sure.
In the mix, whereas I was skeptical of that. Let's see what I got. Penn State will have to dip into the high school ranks soon. Maybe Jeremy Macklin. That's from Deep Voice Dude. I don't know if Macklin would go from Kirkwood to Happy Valley just yet. Iggy wants to know if anyone needs a +1 for the Hubbard Christmas party. He's welcome to be my date, but Marsh's burner texted in and said he wanted to be my +1, and he puts out.
He puts out, yeah. So if Iggy can match.
Yeah. Let's see. Iggy, don't you mean a +2, cucko? And Martin's favorite clip is, you want some, fucko?
Yeah, so that's the other guy. That's the guy who gave the wet. It's really funny because that guy
This is from Goodfellas, of course.
meets Henry Hill at the country club, and Henry Hill gives him this like dead fish handshake. And then he eventually touches Wayne Bracco inappropriately. And so Ray Liotta walks across the street, and the guy in the tennis outfit goes, "What's up, fucko? You want some?" And then Ray Liotta bashes his fucking face in with a pistol and then hands it to Lorraine Bracco, which turned her on.
Yeah, she got a charge out of that.
Yeah.
Iggy's back in there on the threesome. He was not digging the wife. I'd like to know how this all comes to pass.
Yeah, like, is it like...
I have never been propositioned for the less popular. And I have no idea how. Let me put it, and I want to make this clear.
Yeah.
Up until, I don't know, 15 plus years ago, been a wonderful proposition. Mm-hmm. At this point in life, it will not be something that I hope to have happen, because that means I would have gotten away from what I hope
I get what you're saying
to have, which would be just me and my wife and my 2 boys, and I'm on the straight and narrow, and I'm not in a spot where that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're disappointed.
Well, the idea of like hitting someone up explicitly for like a couple hitting somebody up for a threesome, it just seems so like quick, It's like, hey, nice to meet you, and then you're in the bedroom. 5 minutes later? I don't know. I need like more of a build up, kind of work for it.
So you're not an easy lay.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but something like this seems very clearly invasive. Like you're not only sleeping with someone, but you are sleeping with a couple.
Right.
It seems like a lot. I would want at least dinner first.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Jackson.
Yo.
That's him, Jake Reynolds.
Up, Jake.
I believe he's TMA Walrus #1.
Yep.
Let's see what I got. Hey, Tim, I missed the last QFTA. Have you revealed what the change to the show is that TMA old-timers would like? It's from Jake Reynolds. This is why I go through all the YouTube, so I don't miss anything. And this is an example of what we call the telephone game. Jackson, you familiar with the telephone game?
Yeah.
I whisper in your ear something, might use my tongue, I don't know.
Tongue of a hummingbird.
Thank you. And then by the time it gets whispered to 5 other people, that which I whispered theoretically has changed. And I know Jake Reynolds, and I know he's got pure intent, but it is not a change to the current show that TMA old-timers would like. It is what I would describe as a potential addition.
There you go. Yep.
That old-school TMA listeners would like. And since it is not finalized, and I don't know what I can and cannot say, I have to leave it there.
Yeah.
And I'm not intending to get better at teasing. I'm just trying to answer the question without, I don't know what I can and can't say. Like, I don't know if I can talk about our revenue increase for the time slot. I don't know if I can talk about our ratings increase for the time slot. I was told I can talk about our downloads. I don't know what I can and can't talk about since we've never really been in a professional operation until we've been here. And so therefore some of these things, and they laugh at me and they think I'm acting like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll send you guys when I get the ratings and I'll say, oh my God, look at this. And then I can tell Doug has no idea what I'm talking about.
You do some recently. You've been laying them out for us,
Right, and to compare it, like look at the increase.
Yeah, and that's
year
helpful.
over year. But I don't know if it can be talked about publicly. I have no idea, and so I'd rather just. It's one of those things. Err on the side of caution. And either way, I'm from the school of revenue, and that's the name of the game, and delivering return on investment for clients. Let's see, horrible idea. I don't know what that was. That's from Hick Chill.
Sometimes
99.
there's stuff that makes
the non sequiturs.
Well, because they're talking to each other.
All right. Okay. Henshin, you covering the Big Ten championship this weekend. I saw tickets were starting at $800. That place might be 90%, 10% IU fans to OSU fans. Jesus. If I'm being serious because we can put ourselves in this position, and I went to both Missouri SEC championship game appearances. If Missouri were in the SEC championship this weekend in Atlanta, under no circumstances would I even pay $500 for a ticket.
No. You'd be saving up to get for college football playoff tickets.
Yes. I mean, I just wouldn't. I'd want them to win.
Right.
But,
especially if they had 2 losses.
I guess with Missouri, maybe so. With Alabama, they're not going anywhere. And like I've heard this thing, well, what if they get blown out? I'm like, it's not going to happen. It's just not. They're not going to. Kirby Smart won't do it. It's not going to happen. I don't believe that. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong on this shit. Like I said, I went 1-6 last week. What do I know? Let's see. Sam Bradford is the white whale of St. Louis sports interviews. He'd never do it, but it'd get monster ratings. And that's just one of those. And I say this respectfully to Deep Voice, dude. You don't know what you're talking about because you don't know how that system works. And I know that probably doesn't come off as real endearing, but I'm not in the endearing business.
You're not running for office.
And also, it's like, you know.
I've heard Sam Bradford talk on Chris Long's podcast. He doesn't have much to say.
Well, I wasn't even talking about that. I was just talking about the ratings part. Yeah. But, yeah.
Seems like a great guy and seems very content with his life right now. But it doesn't seem like he has a lot of takes to get off his chest.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of content with.
Yeah, chilling.
What do you think? You think he's 40 now?
No.
No, he probably
just shy of 40 though. Probably 37.
Iggy says, "Sup, man child." The man child's in your sup chat. Sup, man child. Sup, Tim. I think Doug does about his politics, and they don't get read texts into the show. I mean.
I think that's in reference to someone, Iggy, saying that Doug's the only one that doesn't get shit on.
That's what happens when I don't read every single thing. Doug is the only person on the show that doesn't get shit on.
Doug still gets shit on.
What's that?
Doug still gets shit on.
Doug gets shit on kind of hardcore from the new 101 listeners, which is not what I would think the old TMA listeners would think.
Right.
I would say the person who gets shit on with actual dislike. Be curious what. This is me proving that I'm not saying something in reaction. The person who gets shit on in the text inbox with actual dislike of the 4 members of TMA as of December 2025 is whom?
You.
I actually disagree. I think it's Martin.
Really?
I wrote Martin.
Yep, can see.
YouTube for the handful of people, 60 people in
nice
there.
Penmanship.
Yeah, you know, as I was writing, I thought, that's not bad.
Pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah. And Martin, kind of like you in 2020, even though he was on the show in 2004, his pre-text inbox, I think he's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm not used to this. I'm usually a guy doing the roast.
Yeah, that's right.
He was these fucking nerds. And then he'll like, then he gets distracted by like scrolling through the previous text.
My favorite, when Martin's a little distracted. I've
noticed his physical tells when I'm like, oh, I shouldn't talk with him now because I can tell he's like in what it is.
When he was finding out in real time that his name was on the byline of that Drinkwitz story on Fox 2, I almost pissed my pants.
That was
because
great.
he was really trying to figure it out. And I saw him email with people.
He cares about shit that I haven't thought about or cared about since I worked in television, and I think 99% of the population is not even aware of, but it's his gig, and he's the sports director, and he has to care about
for sure.
Shit. And it says, yeah, so when Channel 2, and they put his name on it. Hey, listen, if somebody was like handling my social media accounts and then posted something that wasn't true, then I'd be like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's see what Iggy says. I haven't been on the show for over a year and I still get shit on.
It's unfortunate.
If
he comes up, it's like I'll see it sometime. I'll still see like boot face in there.
Really?
Yeah, but not like it's
like I don't think there's anything mean. If anything, it's like
in good.
I miss Iggy-ish.
Yeah.
That's what I would say it is.
Maybe I don't stare at the YouTube chat during the show, but maybe because he sometimes goes in there and he'll mix it up a little, and maybe that is where he might get some shit, and he can see that.
Got it.
Or maybe the fan page. I don't look at that much.
Iggy says he'll gladly come in for a QFTA. It'd be glorious.
Love to have him.
Let's see. Iggy is an original. Doe has always been Martin Light. Iggy is an original, Doe has always... Okay, so this
Doe
is
must
Doug.
mean Doug. Yeah, Doe always means Doug.
That's Winslow Walking Stick you did a sound story with.
Love the Winslow Walking Stick.
Doug is being called Martin Light. Now, when Doug started on the show... I'm so distracted. It's already 12:16. I haven't even gone on email. So fucked. When we first started the show, so funny. This is kind of why... I don't know what the right... Like when you've been there for it all, that's why it's easy to kind of, it's like you know what's coming because you've been there for it all. When Martin left the show in October of 2006, it was, show's over, fuck this, it'll never be the same. Wherever Martin shows up, that's where I'm listed. That's what it was. That was the thing. Now, at the time, the show was only 2 years and 3 months old. So, it's like we didn't know if it would be, and then they whack the cat and bring in Bob Fesco, and it's like, oh, this thing's, it's over. I'm planning on moving myself just to get away from it, and also a good opportunity. Cat's whacked, producer Joe's whacked, Martin quit. In my mind, I'm going, yeah, this thing is absolutely over. And then when Doug starts, and then now Doug, it would sound weird to TMA listeners who didn't listen back then or just so young that they didn't, which would be fall into your category. When Doug started, the way to shit on Doug and the show was, show still sucks, Doug is Martin Light. Now, I know that sounds blasphemous to TMA listeners of 2025. Right. That Martin was... or that Doug was no good, he was Martin Light. So I hadn't thought about that until reading it just now, or I hadn't thought about it in years, until just reading it now in the YouTube chat during the podcast. Does that blow your mind?
A little bit, just because when I started listening, it was you, the Cat, and Doug.
Right, but that wasn't until 2014.
Right.
Plenty of years in between.
Right, I know. So that's like... So I just don't have it. But also, didn't Martin run point?
He did.
Yeah. So that like I think of it through like position.
Yeah.
That's where it's tough for me because Doug is, as we've talked about, the ultimate two guard.
He's the greatest two guard in the history of the game. What else do I got here? Iggy says he'll gladly come in for a QFTA. That would be wonderful. Shameless plug. Thank you, Piddles, for doing my sound story last year. My family loved it. Tip of the cap to you. Jake Reynolds is back. Hey, Tim, when can I come in for QFDA to talk about the show? Can you bring in the artifact your family has from William Tecumseh Sherman, please? Have I said my family has an artifact? I know we're related to William Tecumseh Sherman. Have I said that?
I don't remember it.
I'm not saying that it's certainly because we're related, but I don't think I thought that was something that my mom's dad, he was big into lineage, and he... discovered that wouldn't be the right word because it's not going back like hundreds of years. It's only 100
uncovered maybe
years, yeah. But I don't think the artifact I have that also I believe came from that same grandfather is the baseball that was just like sitting around our house that I went, oh, Rogers Hornsby's on here. And then I went through the names, and Hack Wilson also. And he looks like he has a third grader's penmanship. Hack Wilson.
Really?
I mean, it's not that bad, but it's like...
I mean, a lot of those guys were illiterate.
Absolutely, yeah. And then I went through all the names. I actually have it in a spreadsheet to go, okay, how many other Hall of Famers are on this thing?
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have, but maybe we do. Yeah, I'd love to have... I said I want to have listeners in, and they can ask me questions. I mean, I make myself available because I put $1,000 bounty out there for hate mail and I didn't get any. So I'm like, okay, what if you could come in and ask me questions directly?
Yeah.
Unedited.
Love to
so
have
Jake Reynolds would be wonderful.
Q1 26, maybe.
Q126.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brian Dable. I guess we're back at Penn State. What about Hugh Heisel? I guess it means new Heisel. Let's see. Here's a Jackson question. On a scale of Ed Chang to Maybor Majak, how bad is Sean Phillips, Jackie?
He's better than those two, I'll tell you that much.
What about Negus Webster-Chan, who's become a god on Power Mizzou?
Different positions, but Webster-Chan was pretty good.
Have you followed the Barstool Idol Missouri competition? I can already tell you my answer is no, so I don't know.
Not either.
Okay. Producer Joe? Producer named Grant Salzman from STL Sports Central got brutally eliminated by random draw on Monday, day one. Only KC guys remain. I have no idea what this is, but I know Grant Salzman. He came on the show, or he came to visit a show and was interested in working with us.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Oh, you actually remember that?
Well, didn't he?
Did he come to
opening
Ballpark
day?
Village?
Yeah, opening
That's
day.
What it was.
Yes.
He is
good dude.
The nephew or cousin of Doug Schlenk, who people might remember because the cat called him Doug Plank. Of Evolve Personal Fitness.
Yes.
And one of my best friends from St. Gabriel's.
Yeah. I really like Grant.
But I don't know what Missouri Idol is. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know that either.
I don't know. So I guess you can maybe if you win it, you work at Barstool?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, good for Grant.
I hope so.
But he got eliminated, apparently.
Yeah. Their loss.
Let's see. How do you think I paid him for the sound story? LOL. Oh, did you get blown? Hey guys, I need that money then because I have investors in Sound Story. So when the books don't add up, I go, well, Jackson got a blowy.
What's the conversion rate on that?
I don't know. You can have a conversation with Manavani on that. Just make sure I'm on the call.
If that happened and I wasn't on LSD, then something went wrong.
Let's see what I got here. Hey guys, why does Tim's cam look like crystal clear 4K while Jackson's looks like 480p?
Fair question.
What is going on? I haven't even looked at it, but now I see it.
You can see, Tim, the listeners can't.
Oh, yeah.
This is my camera, which is more like a... if you were remember the original webcams?
Sure, absolutely.
Like the mid-aughts? That's more... I'm not saying that technology, but it looks
I guess
more like
I'm
that.
seeing my
This
camera.
is more of like a...
Can people see any of these cameras?
These are
Probably
very
not. No, but that's the answer. Jackson's camera is old school.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a nice question, though. Andrew Clay Long. I'm shocked Doug gets crapped on by 101 listeners. He's more of the sports guy of the show, so I figured he'd be beloved by all.
Martin's more the sports guy, if you ask me.
I guess it's probably true. Yeah, but I mean, he does. I mean, but we all get crapped on. I mean, it's not, you can't have.
Welcome to the lines, then.
That's the deal. But yeah, Doug. But Doug, I can tell because I can see it's like phone numbers. It's not like like a Carlos Spicy Wiener or something like that. Man, do I wish the 101 listeners could have gotten a good dose of Plowsy. Alan Dadeville.
He called in.
I did. Was he a surprise guest or something?
Yeah.
Plowhawk and I were texting the other day. He's having a child. How about the Plowhawk?
Love it.
God bless America.
I love him and his wife.
And I didn't know that. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or was it a commercial break?
The show.
I had no idea. And so I texted him to congratulate him. And then he immediately went in on drink.
Leopard can't change its spots.
Let's see what I got going here. Wow, we got a lot. I will read the emails. If you are in charge of the ACC or Big 12, you definitely rig your title game this weekend right. Hick Chill 99 is my kind of guy.
Definitely the Big 12. I guess ACC too.
I mean, yeah, yesterday on the Spread Zone, and nobody, I feel confident, at least, I guess I can't say because I don't really consume St. Louis media per se. But I would imagine I am one of the few or only people who've been raving about Texas Tech since September. And so Stalter picked Texas Tech is one of his picks. And then I started, for my lock, went with BYU. And Stalter thought I was going to go with him. Yeah. And he goes, oh, my God. And I go, I think Texas Tech could win the whole thing.
Right.
But for the same reason why I was trying to get, I thought I'd get a bet from a listener. If you ever want to bet me, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, so I don't see all the text, that the college football playoff ranking would change. I said all the teams, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and maybe 13, won.
Yeah.
But somehow there is going to be a change because either they're going to make sure Notre Dame is in or they're going to make sure that the SEC championship will not cost Alabama from being in. Something weird is going to happen that. And then I never thought Hunter Yurchek's answer would be as like ridiculous. Well, Alabama got out to a 17-0 lead. I'm like, oh my God.
Ice cold month for him.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a rough 25 for him, going back to the Little Rock quarterback club, bitching about they not having any money for Arkansas football. But anyway, I didn't get any bets on that. I thought that was one I would. I was kind of thinking about giving out 5-1 to induce action. But I'm like, God, what if I'm wrong? And then all of a sudden I'm like Venmoing $2,000 out tomorrow or something. I wouldn't feel real good about that.
Yeah.
So I just offered even money, and I didn't get any emails on that. But yes, anyway, Hick Chill 99. Yes, I mean, what I'm worried about from the gambling perspective on it, and that's why I might go money lining with Virginia, is I could see Virginia winning, but not covering the 3.5.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, 3.5's always a.
Especially with those two groups getting together.
I never hate taking money line on a favorite when the number's like 3 or.
Because all that it's about is winning. They don't need to win with style points. They just need to win, and they are literally in, and they're traveling to Oxford or College Station or Eugene or Athens. Fuck, I don't know where it'll be. It might be Tuscaloosa for that matter.
Like
I don't
minus
know.
170 on the money line or something.
Minus 180 now. I know.
Still worth it.
Amen. And then that's the other one. Oh, BYU. And they're getting 12.5.
Catching 12.
And I love Texas. I think Texas Tech's a great football
Their
team.
defense is crazy.
I think they're a great football team. They have one loss, and it was when Baron Morton was hurt. They're so good. But this week, I'm taking BYU for the exact reasons that Hick Chill 99 laid out.
It's a big motivation week. Like, what's everyone's motivation? And that should be a part of your gambling mindset if you are looking to wager on it. And you should always wager responsibly. But
Nice, Jackson.
like the Indiana Ohio State game, I would never, ever, 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 ever bet because I have no idea who cares and who doesn't.
No clue.
Yeah, no. You would think Indiana would care more. I don't know. Maybe Ohio State is really.
I don't remember if it was Riz or Stalter, but I think Stalter busted out that the Big Ten championship game, all but 3 years it's existed, it's gone over. Which is such a surprise because when you think of the Big Ten,
Iowa
you think of like,
seems to be in there.
And he said minus the Iowa years, except maybe one of the years, but I think they got beat like 48-3 by Michigan one of the
I
years.
remember one year they only scored 3.
But I think it's 47.5, and I think those schools in part play in these kind of shit conditions up north,
Right.
in some October, certainly November and December, and then they get the controlled climate of Lucas Oil, and they can excel, from a scoring standpoint. So he loved the over. Hell, I don't know.
That makes me.
I mean, I got reservations to Paulie Manos on Saturday night. I'm not even gonna like think about it. We'll probably get out of there, and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me check the score app and see what's doing. I didn't fucking care any less about these fucking conference championship games. But let me tell you something, Jackie Papers. If we were in the first round of the college football playoff, I'd say, hey, woman, thank you.
Right.
We're not going anywhere. I'm gonna go see Chuck at Fenton Bar and Grill, and we're gonna have
takeout.
You better believe it. We're gonna have trash wings, maybe tendies, maybe both. I don't know.
I really like those
Depends
tendies.
on how well I did the first week of betting.
I like the tendies.
And then the season fries. And you work on that threesome in exchange for this stuff I'm gonna do at the end of the month. It's out of fucking control around here.
I think it was 2 years ago, Tim. I think it was right when Missouri was going to be playing Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl that we often reference. Iowa was playing Michigan in the Big Ten, and if my memory is correct, their team total for the first half was like 2.5.
I believe that's correct. It
Maybe
was a number that was just absurd.
Right,
Because
and I took
Michigan
the
was
under.
legitimately good.
I remember taking the under, and I think they only kicked a field goal in the second half, so I got paid.
How do you feel if you're Nebraska fans and you locked Matt Rule up and then he got his ass kicked in November? Would you dorks stop talking to each other so Tim can just read questions? That's from Beer Cats in the YouTube chat. Doug got crapped on for not embracing. Boy, we got a lot of YouTube comments, and I just hit scroll down and I lost my spot. All I know was deep voice dude. Doug got crapped on for not embracing the Cardinals tanking. Yeah, he took some hits on that.
Sure.
Yeah. I think 101 does have some really hardcore sports fans who are younger listeners, and they're kind of like, who's the guy who's, like they just dismiss him because Doug is however old he is, which is their own misgivings. I think that was initially, so I think that was some of the shit. And then I'll catch shit because I don't, blow St. Louis. Like apparently the Wentzville Walking Stick did you for a sound story. So Manavani has texted me. He wants to get on a call with you about that.
Okay. Yeah, we can discuss conversion rates.
So I am looking forward to...
So am I going to owe money here?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's tough.
So have fun with that.
Yeah, that's tough. Huh. Mark Anna calls me. He goes, "Why'd you take out all this money from your account?" Oh, don't worry. I just got paid in oral sex for a sound story.
Yeah, I can't wait for our next board meeting.
Yeah.
Item 6 here on the agenda. Jackson got oral from the Wentzville Walking Stick. Mark had a chance to talk with him. Here's a recording.
Oh, man.
Let's see. I have followed you forever. That's from the Wentzville Walking Stick. I don't know what that means.
To the gates of hell.
But I don't know if he's talking to you, to me.
If he's followed
maybe
me
the deep
forever,
voice dude.
If he's followed me forever, there's some serious questions that need to be asked.
I think most listeners had no idea how funny Doug was until he joined the show and was on for a bit. Doug is a national treasure. That's from Andrew Clay Long. The reality is I deserve credit for all of this because I certainly get it all of the time. But the truth is, when it came to Doug, we had a decision to make, truly. And I swear to you, there are, God, what was the fucking thing I just was watching? Oh, this was in the Freeze interview. Get me back. I need a Hansel and Gretel this.
I got you.
Doug on TMA.
Okay.
But when you listen to the Freeze and Ruin interview, which don't get me wrong, it'll be awful. But when you listen to it and like it privately, but talk about how bad it is publicly, I asked Freeze, you might remember this, you were old enough at this point, 13 years old. The pitch before he hit the home run
strike
was ball, but it was called a strike.
Okay, I have that backwards. I thought it was a strike that they called a ball.
And he should have walked on 4 pitches. I think the pitcher for the Rangers, and for the life of me, I can't remember him, that poor guy. I've gotten in a couple, kind of got into a substantial one here recently, where there was some real money out on the golf course. I mean, recently, it was August. And one of the guys involved, I saw his, I just caught.
Okay. I couldn't see your hands.
Right now, the hands started to shake.
I thought you were talking about his wiener.
And I leaned into my partner and I said, we got to keep going as much as we can, as much as he can take, because yeah, you saw it. Yeah, and so we're in a good spot. There was in my opinion, I can't remember what the fucking guy's name. I'm sure a million people in the YouTube chat. He just knew.
Yeah. Was it Lowe?
I think it was Mark Lowe. I think.
Was he? Because who gave up the triple? That was
Neftali Feliz. Neftali Feliz was legit.
Then it was Lowe. Then it was Mark Lowe.
Okay. Yeah. And it was Scott Feldman who gave up the Berkman hit, Mark Lowe. And they actually caught Lowe. The only cut away after Freeze is running around the Cardinals out there. Poor Skip Schumacher's getting fisted by Lowe. They cut right as he's crossing the third base line to go into the dugout, and he exhales like, I knew it was coming. Yeah. Fuck, I didn't want to be out there. Some people want the ball. We actually talk about that. Freeze and Maroon, both at clutch times. Freeze more so. Hockey's, you're not having a whole lot of time to think, unless maybe it's like a penalty shot. But anyway, I said to Freeze, and I said, I made that observation. I said it was a ball. And I love talking about this stuff, and that he remembers it. I mean, you might go, well, of course he does, but some guys just don't.
Yeah,
and he goes, oh, yeah. And then he mistakenly said, maybe I'm wrong. He said, well, it was a full count. He hit the home run. I thought it was 3-1. Okay, all right. Well, say, fucking David Freeze. What does he know? He only hit the home run. Thank you. Good for you. Yeah. Now you're starting to feel this industry.
What if it actually is 3-2?
That would be great. And he goes, can you imagine how much my life changes if it's a walk?
Oh, my God. Yep, sliding doors.
I mean, that's it.
Flying around.
And I mean, like the fact that Freeze he is peak self-awareness. And he gets into some shit. And it was Maroon's questions at the end. Like Pat prepared for the interview, and he had notes. Yeah. And I think he looked over at me, and he's like, well, what are we going to talk about? And I go, we're going to talk with Freeze.
Figure it out, yeah.
And he goes, but you don't have. And I go, you do whatever you want to do. I said, I'm ready to go here.
Right.
And then he's looking at me, and I'm like breaking down like the rotation on the pitch to Berkman. Nerd. And so he actually called me. He goes, fucking geek. This guy's a fucking geek. Anyway, how does this tie
Doug on TMA.
Yes. I'm outside of, God, what was this place? Wellbridge. That's where I used to work out.
In Clayton.
Of course, you know.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think it's there anymore.
It's not.
Okay. It's a great spot, though.
Right.
I can't believe that wasn't like an ass factory.
It was pretty small, wasn't it?
I thought it was pretty, I don't know, for you it might be, but for a South City kid used to the YMCA,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like barbells in the front yard.
Working out in some guy's basement or something.
Right, exactly. I thought it was unbelievable.
It was really nice.
It was absolutely really nice. But I lived over there in a condo in the Moorlands, and that's where we would work out. And I was out in front of it, and we were going to go with somebody else. I don't think this person would really care, but I don't know. They wouldn't care. But anyway. And I'm just like, but Doug, I know people don't know it, but he's the funniest motherfucker.
Yeah, it was Mickey Carroll, by the way.
It was Mickey Carroll. It was Mickey Carroll. And you outed it.
Yeah, sorry.
And you'll have to deal with his estate. Yeah. Not easy to do. Yeah. And I'm like, we got to go with Doug. I go, it's kind of like when you emailed me. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Feeling.
Yes. And I hate to say I have a feeling because I don't necessarily make decisions based on, but I was remembering working with him at KMOV, me, Savard, and Doug, and then our producers, and I would truly piss myself laughing, and usually Doug was the one that was causing it. Yeah. And then I remember Jennings, and there was no bigger fan of TMA, like a real, liked it, not like the thing. And he goes, Doggy V, who knew? That's what he would say. Because they pictured Doug as the guy that would read the sports, and it was just, but I'm like, behind the scenes, nobody was more vile, and nobody was funnier, and I'm like, and then we only had one show with them, me and the cat and Doug, and when we got done, the cat and I were like, well, there it is, there's the guy, and little did we know, these auditions weren't real auditions, and Bob Fesco had already been hired. Season. That was a nice time, because nowadays, I'd get blamed for Fesco getting hired. Back then, the audience was on my side, and they're like, what the fuck did they do? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. But yes, back in the golden era. So I'm like, what the fuck? And so we have this decision to make, and I'm like, it's Doug. It's got to be Doug. And think about it. Like,
couldn't have been more right. Holy
shit. Yeah. It's a substantial moment. So, Andrew Claylong, you are correct. Jake Reynolds is back, and I know you're a big Civil War guy. I thought for sure you said you had a hat or sword or something like that. No, I'm sorry, man. I don't think so. I mean, maybe we do. I will ask my mom. It was her dad. It's that side of the family that's related to William Tecumseh Sherman. It's me, Adam. How big is Jackson in size? What is Jackson's weight? Thanks. It's caller Adam.
6'1", 180.
Do you feel good about that?
Yeah, perfect place to be.
Is it? Is that the right spot for 6'1"?
That is my sustainable weight. I could be.
I was $159 this morning.
Muzzle. I could be.
If that's good or not. I mean, I'm like 5'1".
Right. Well, it's all depending. I could get to 175 if I wanted, but a sustainable weight for me is 180.
Okay. Let's see. He might have been asking about your cock, though.
Oh. Well, you have to order a sound story.
Speaking of which, Wentz the walking stick. I don't know if he's saying he's 6'4", 190, or you're 6'4", 190.
I am certainly not 6'4", 190. If he thought I was 6'4", no, I'm not 6'4".
Beer Cats is back and says, no one wants you on QFTA. Jake, knock it off. And now we got the listeners warring in the YouTube chat.
Ease up, Beer Cats.
Beer Cats has been on with the Hot Wife Autumn thing, right?
Yes, he has.
Hot Wife Autumn was like legitimately hot.
Yeah.
Right? You saw
yeah.
Like, Beer Cats take shit for, like, I don't know, banging some Festus 4 or something like that, or whatever it was. Who says that? Mr. Licks?
Yeah.
But she was legitimately.
That was a good era in QFTA.
Yeah, that was a great era. QFTA eras. Anytime I hit scroll, I lose the whole damn chat, and I lose my spot.
So many.
Yeah, God bless. Thanks for the email vote today, Tim. I've been peacocking around and canceled my meetings the rest of the day. Crestwood Coyote, who won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Doug is a baseball guy. Martin is a football guy. That's deep voice, dude.
I don't see it that way.
The fantastic Plows. He is going to be a great dad. I agree 100%. That's actually what I texted him. I said, you and Madison are going to be wonderful parents. They absolutely 100% will. Let's see. Iggy has retracted a message. I don't know what that one was. Let's see. Does the winner of the ACC game get into the CFP if Duke wins, or would that go to the Canes at that point? No. If Duke wins, there is not an automatic bid for the ACC. What I could see happening, and that is why I said on the show today, on TMA today, Duke is currently plus 10,000. Or not Duke, fuck me. Miami is currently plus 10,000. I really could see, if Duke wins, the committee moving Miami ahead of Notre Dame. Can you see that?
Just to get.
And I'm a Notre. And for the record, I'll be polling for Notre Dame in Indiana. It's where I have family ties to, or those two schools. That's who I'll be polling for.
How would Juracek spin that?
Well, he was asked about it by Reese Davis.
Yeah, and he said they would just.
Whereas Ward Manuel last year, who was the head of the committee, said they are locked in, and then this year they changed it. And he said we talked over the summer and we've adjusted. So.
Yeah. So I guess they wouldn't need Reese.
I have no idea why they're not ahead of them now. I think they penalized Miami way too much, and they're kind of like, holy shit.
Loss?
Yes.
It didn't help that they lost to Cali.
That SMU did, yeah. The move in Alabama. The Alabama moving ahead of Notre Dame, where I think by the way, I think they should have been.
Yes,
I think they should have been.
Yeah.
But how he justified it, when it's just like, we can't have the loser of the SEC championship game not go to the playoff. Right. That's the answer.
Which I get, but like you're just bullshitting.
But you also can't say it.
Yes, they're bullshitting is what they're doing. They're bullshitting.
It's like, I wish I could have held a press conference the day they announced the TMA was going to 101 with every piece of information at my disposal to like show graphs and charts.
Yeah.
Go, here's the reason why we're going here. Here's the reason why changes are taking place. You can hate me. I can't do anything about that. But here are the numbers. You might not like it, but this is the reason.
Yeah, this is the scoreboard here.
Yes. And then do whatever you want. But instead, Hunter Yurchik said Alabama jumped out to a 17-0 lead.
Yeah, the first half. They had a great first half. But what about the second half when there was a really tight ball?
I really like the 4th and 2 call in the third quarter. You mean the one at the end of the game that won it?
Auburn can't buy a win.
Holy fuck. Yeah. What are we doing?
Tough.
A lot of women holding hands down here on the hill. That's from Iggy. Oh, is that I didn't know. That surprises me. Jackson, you lived there.
Lived there for 2 years. I didn't notice.
Maybe there's a hotbed now.
Uptick of lesbianism.
That kind of surprised me. Like the Italian women? Oh, that'd be great. That could really help me out with this, what I got going on here.
Yeah, maybe more towards 44. That's where it's going on.
Oh, that'd be great. Mark Lowe, thank you. How much are the blowies I need to update my spreadsheet?
We still have to work on that. I got to talk to Malavani.
Yeah, God.
He's got to hear about this in some
It's possible. Hey, one of my son's friends was. Did you just say something about a podcast today? And somebody, boy, that'd be a tough putt.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one because the explanation isn't gonna be.
I don't know. I think Chairman Kurt handled that.
Pass that bug.
Absolutely, that's what a leader does.
That's right.
Let's see what I got. Why doesn't anyone bring up the drink idea from I do. I actually do, Kyle Boger 451. Why do people now have numbers at the end of their YouTube names?
I don't know. I think
what happened?
Google
I don't think they did it.
Cracking down on it, maybe? I don't know.
Kyle Boger, I agree with you. Why doesn't anyone bring up, they all do, yeah. Except
Iggy, because, well, the king.
Yeah, amen. Why doesn't anyone bring up the drink idea from the preseason? The top 8 SEC teams could all be playing this weekend for a spot in the playoff. I agree with that. Drinkwitz has never been on the show. There's a part of me that thinks I would hate interviewing him. If I could I interviewed somebody recently, and I'm like, I loved this fucking interview. For real, when I was listening to the Freeze Maroon thing, I'm like, you know what I actually was thinking? I am so lucky to be able to do this. That's what I was really thinking. And even when I get the hate about how the interview sucks or I suck, they can't, because I'm just like, if you would have told me, fuck. And to hear Freeze enjoy it as much as he did, because he's never talked about a lot of this stuff. And I'm sitting there with Maroon, and they're both really good guys, too. So it's not like I got to these guys are good guys. I go, God, they're such fucking assholes. A-plus people. I mean, truly A-plus people. Not necessarily in the Kurt Warner realm of A-plus people, but my moral compass of A-plus people. I have no idea if they're men of God. That's not where I keep my scoreboard. But with that all established, I was doing an interview with somebody, and I don't know who it was here recently. You might have been in the room for it. And I'm like, these are the kinds of interviews I love, when you can tell the person's being honest. I don't know if I could get there with Eli Drinkwitz. I don't know. Maybe I could. Maybe we'd hit it off. I just don't think I'm his kind of...
Yeah. Well, if you guest host Tiger Talk one day.
I don't think I'm going to get that call. And I don't think
I would be there.
so. I'm gonna.
I'd be there with a little pennant. I'd be so fired up for that. Although I'd miss Mike Kelly doing it.
But if I would love to interview Drinkwitz, and like for example, I really want to have shirts on. And I know when I talk about the Stanford game, most people are like, I didn't even know they played Stanford. What are you fucking so upset about? But I'm telling you, that loss to Stanford might keep the Billikens out of the NCAA tournament, even if they're like 25-4.
If they basically got to win the A-10
It's
at this point.
nuts, and I hate it because it was such a fluke thing. And I bet Shirts, because he will be honest, might say, yeah, I couldn't sleep all night. I'm fucking sick about it. You know,
Even though he did the right thing.
The fouling
Fouling up 3.
But yes, I actually think Drinkwitz's idea that Kyle Boger, who did not include the 451, suggested, which is have some kind of essentially play into the playoff. I love that idea. Here is why I think that is not going to happen, at least with what Drinkwitz is proposing, because then at that moment, non-conference dies.
Right.
So if there is a way to work it, then great. And you go, well, then just make all the play conference. Great. But then at that moment, you will have rivalry games that are non-conference. They die.
Yep.
Take your pick of whichever one you hold in the highest of esteem. And then also we have to have the Notre Dame conversation. Now, I notice in the South, not coincidental, you as a Jewish person have experienced, you know the little codes, that shit that I can't pick up on.
Yeah.
As a Catholic, which I never have experienced until hosting Balloon Party somehow, especially in St. Louis. Now maybe I lived in like Birmingham, it'd be different. That the Catholic thing in the South, it's kind of funny to watch, but I don't really give a fuck. I don't know how you feel about your shit's a little more real than my shit.
Yeah, get through it.
The Notre Dame thing. Good for Notre Dame that they're in a position to be independent and they have their own television deal. However, when it comes to the actual competition, if they're not in conference and if everything is determined by your conference record getting in, how do you handle Notre Dame?
It seems like it's only going to get harder for Notre Dame going forward.
So why would you play Notre Dame now?
Yeah, really. Why, seriously, why
Texas
would you?
A&M would otherwise be sitting here if Notre Dame didn't mishandle that fumble. And I don't know if you remember the touchdown A&M scored. I was watching it.
I had money on A&M.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were joyous.
I was.
Always anti-Irish Catholic. I'm on to you.
Yeah, because I'm always so pro A&M.
Thank you. I know you love the cult.
Fucking yell leaders.
That A&M sitting there at 10-2, and people are going, oh, I don't know on A&M,
Right.
because what's A&M's best win then at that point?
Fuck. Missouri.
Thank you. Yeah. They didn't beat anybody in the top half of the SEC.
Lost that at Texas, yeah.
But they're in because they won at South Bend. By the way, they did win at South Bend.
And a good win at that.
See, I factor when you're sitting there breaking everything down, okay, now let's go into how the games went down when it comes to Texas. And that's why I'm like, Mississippi State overtime and the Kentucky overtime, they won them.
Yeah,
but
that's what kind of flies in the face of the Texas thing right now. Like them saying, like, why we ever play Ohio State. Like, look at Vanderbilt right now. They don't have a signature win. That's probably going to keep them out of the CFP.
they did beat the shit out of a team in Knoxville. So anyway, neither can.
Which they give Oklahoma a lot more credit for than they seem to give Vandy.
Yes.
But Oklahoma
won in Tuscaloosa. And once you do that, you know, as long as Alabama didn't lose to Auburn. I mean, we haven't even gone to an email at 12:48. I just can't do this.
Well, the problem is you want to read the messages, but they multiply.
They keep coming in,
time you get down to the bottom.
Yeah. When will the Freeze interview drop? That's going to be a fantastic content. It is a good interview. I hate that that was my analogy.
Yeah. You're souring on it.
I almost texted you last night. I'm like, holy shit, this is good. And then I didn't. And then I'm like, I can't talk about how it's good.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
I don't know. It's good. And it doesn't matter what I do. I know it's going to be bad and I'm going to be blank. And then I'm going to die. And people are like, you know what? He was really good. And that's the way it's going to all go down. Another prediction, if you're interested. If you put that in Predictionary.
This is taking a turn.
Well, this is how it's all going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of missed him. He might have been important to TMA.
I would say.
Fucking pricks.
Pesci's coming out in a major way.
But yeah, the interview is good. Jackson was going to say do it on Friday, but I'm like, why not do it on Monday?
Yeah.
So we'll do Monday. Let's see. What is the reason for 12 teams versus 6 teams? It makes no sense. 4 teams to get a bye. It's a great question. Also, I think the playoff birth of the 12 team came right after UCF went undefeated and then called themselves national champions after they beat Auburn in a BCS Bowl. And they're like, well, if we do it, we'll have the 4 conference champions, or the 5. It was going to be 5 because that was back when the Pac-12 was not just Washington State and Oregon State playing a few times. And then that way, when we have a really good group of 5 team, they'll get in.
Yep.
But more often than not, the group of 5 doesn't have a UCF. And so now it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, and a ton of those schools like UCF join bigger conferences.
That's correct. So the reality is you have 2 of the 4 games possibly this year with 2 group of 5 teams involved.
Yeah.
Or at a minimum, you'll have 2 of the 4 games an opening weekend involve group of 5 in Virginia. And all due respect to Virginia, maybe they'll pull it off. Hell, maybe James Madison or Tulane or North Texas will pull it off. But odds are...
Wahoo wah, but they're probably not going to happen.
And then you might have a rematch of an SEC game in the first round.
With, like, Oklahoma, Bama.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Ole Miss.
I'd love...
I think A&M's going to have to actually play a team from the SEC that can play.
Yeah. We need a cold weather home playoff game. One of these schools it's got to be a cold weather.
I think your best chance of that is Eugene. But you need Alabama and Texas Tech to win, I think, in order for that to happen.
I like both those things.
Oh, I don't know if it matters because you'll still have an SEC team in there either way. I agree with Greg McElroy from the CFP playoff that whoever wins the SEC is going to get a bye. Yeah. I know it's going to look nuts that Alabama, that's another reason they might have moved them up. Yeah. They just had to give importance to the SEC championship game. By the way, I disagree with the premise, but they couldn't. But if I'm running the business, I get it. You got to do it. But it speaks to the flaw of the conference championship games. Anyway, this thing... December 1st was the deadline day for the conference commissioners to get together and revise the playoff, and they agreed to extend it to like January 20th or something.
Yeah, so maybe
the day after to review this year's playoff to figure out. And my belief is the Lane Kiffin thing will seem like nothing by the time next Sunday around 1 p.m. rolls around and something batshit happens.
Right.
That's what my expectation is. And by batshit, I mean, okay, you're going to have James Madison and Tulane in. You're going to have, if Virginia were to lose, Miami passing Notre Dame. Yeah. Notre Dame being left out in general. Take your pick
Alabama
of whatever it is.
being left out.
I just don't see a world in which Alabama gets left out.
I would
maybe
agree.
It happens.
I would agree. But...
and I think they telegraphed that move. But yes, I think it goes to a minimum of 16. The Drinkwitz idea is all about conference play. And I like the idea. But then what do you do with the non-conference games?
Yeah, do they just not count?
Am I missing something on that, by the way?
No.
That was his idea.
No, it was.
So then at that point, then are those just like Grapefruit League games or like bowl games where guys sit out to make sure they're healthy?
Yeah, they need to figure that out.
You have to make sure they matter.
Right.
And I don't know what the solution to that is. And I would love to interview Eli Drinkwitz and talk with him about it. And I'd love to be like, okay, let's talk about the Penn State thing. You know, I don't know if it's like an unspoken thing among coaches that you don't talk about the offers.
I would imagine that's the case. Because
we asked Pinkel, but Pinkel's a different guy than Eli Drinkwitz.
He's retired.
But I thought when he came on last week that he would talk about the Michigan thing, at least, if not more, that he had. And Martin asked him, and he kind of just like, you could tell he was avoiding talking about it. Yeah. Yeah, and my understanding is he had an opportunity to interview for Michigan when they hired Rich Rodriguez or Brady Hoke, one or the other. Either one didn't work out. And he was going to go, and then he decided he didn't want to go. He's just like, I'm not going to mess with it.
Can't mess with happiness.
Right. And so I'm like, I can't wait to go into this with him. But he just didn't want to do it. So I don't know if Drinkwitz would talk about that. But he definitely would talk about the playoff thing.
But, yeah, for sure. Well, couldn't you just do overall record then? Instead of conference record?
Okay, but then at that point, it's going to be a bunch of UMass. Like, people be fighting to get UMass on the schedule.
Well, they got 12 games to play.
Almighty. UMass's schedule is going to look like Oklahoma's in November.
Most popular girl at the dance.
Juracek and Pat Kraft are a month away from co-hosting a Fired AD's podcast together. That's Alan Dadeville.
Absolute fast track to that.
They changed the chat name to your @sign, which has the numbers. That's from J.C. Penney Chat Support, who also, like Iggy, has not gotten the numbers. Right. J.C. Penney Chat Support knows because he's Chat Support.
Yeah, it's true.
Bring me in for a Christmas edition of QFTA. I have time during the holidays. After that, it's my busy season.
Right?
Iggy is welcome in here anytime. That'll be a wonderful treat.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing that.
All right.
I'm
Christmas
booking that. What do we
Yuletide.
got?
I'll bring the nog.
It's December 4th.
Sip some nog and talk with Iggs.
How about this? Riz is done next Friday until January 5th.
Bastard.
Oh, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah. We're going to have to figure out our holiday schedule.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you. Anytime I go,
He's got it figured out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said, you got it figured out.
He knows what he's doing.
Let's see. I disagree. Here's Kyle Boger, 451. I disagree on the non-con thing because then if you lose a non-con, it wouldn't matter. Go 7-2 in the SEC and you're in, okay?
Right, but then what is a non-con?
So then at that point, though, Kyle, and I'm saying this truly respectfully because I agree with your overall premise, except what do you do about non-con? Then you're going to have like fourth stringers playing in the non-con games.
Right.
So, oh, cool, Missouri's going to play Ohio State in a game where Ohio State theoretically would care, but both teams would rest their starters because the only thing you care about is the playoff. Kind of like these fucking conference championship games now. So I don't know what the hell you do there. That's the issue. You guys talk about Texas. This seems like that situation. Texas and now others won't schedule. That's exactly right. Notre Dame has a player's CBC and a player from DeSmet. That's from Deep Voice, dude.
Yep.
There is no easier path to the CFP than Notre Dame. I mean, in fairness, they played at Miami, at home against A&M. When they scheduled Arkansas, you know, these things aren't like made the week out and going, fuck, they suck. They're done years in advance.
Yeah, so.
Especially when you got as many non-conference as Notre Dame obviously has, and the limited ones that the people they're playing do, especially in the SEC. The USC thing is a traditional rival. And then they just happen to be, they play a certain number of ACC games because they're ACC in basketball, but they play like a rotation of 4 in the ACC, I think, but they're not ACC.
Very confusing.
So, I don't know, the Notre Dame thing, it's just, it's like, but at the same time, like if we were talking about Liberty, honestly, I have to be honest, I'd probably shit on it.
Yeah.
You know, because I got my thing with that. And
but Notre Dame
some people have their things with Catholics, and it's like,
bloods.
whatever.
I think Texas Tech might be the answer for the easiest path to the CFP.
Take a look at BYU's schedule.
Well, they would that's operating that they will give in.
Right, but because I'm like, okay, I got to give BYU some love. I used one of my bonus bets on BYU to win the national championship, so I'm now a big Cougars fan.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And then I looked at the schedule and I go, oh boy,
Yeah, it's weak.
Holy shit!
Tech had like a couple of
take a look at Virginia's operation.
They got to play NC State, not a conference game.
Correct. Let's see. I can't see the conferences giving up championship games. I think the SEC championship game last year had more viewers than most of the playoffs. I would agree in part, except I think the mindset is a lot different in 2025 than 2024 because last year was the first year of it, and then Carson Beck got hurt for Georgia, and it cost them. And now they're sitting there going, oh, my God. I mean, ask an Ohio State fan how important Saturday night is. Ask a Georgia fan how important Saturday night is. Because Indiana's situation is a lot different. I realize they're in, but they're Indiana. Yeah. And Alabama's situation is a lot different because in the back of their minds, they're wondering if somehow they could get left out. Georgia and Ohio State, blue bloods who've won national championships. They've won 3 of the last 4, 3 of the last 5, whatever the fuck it is. They just want to get the hell through it. If you could give an Ohio State fan a guarantee that they're healthy, or they lose a starter and they win on Saturday night, I promise you, they're taking the former. Yep. The blatant TNA/erection YouTube ads that pre-roll before jumping into the live stream is spot on for this audience. The algorithm is working. And Jackson, you run those.
Well, yeah, we've always said on QFTA, we're never going to get you off, but we're going to get you close.
The goal is to get you up multiple times. So. As someone who spent significant time down in Arkansas and has seen that insane fan base, Yurchek is 100% living on borrowed time. That Little Rock Touchdown Club, Finnaby Banty. Yeah. Little Rock Touchdown Club don't mess around. That's David Basil. I got to know David Basil when I was down there. Yeah, he's a former Razorback, and he hosts it. And they get great guests on that thing. Good. All right. I said I'd answer questions. It's 12:59. I'm like, we'll do a 90-minute QFTA.
Well, you got 5 more minutes then if it's 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. 5 minutes, I'm telling you.
All right.
It's
Jake Reynolds. I'm just going in order. Tim, I'm with Doug about not wanting to see a terrible Cardinal season, even if it's the best thing. Right away, Jake, we're just going to disagree. Because if something is the best thing,
like what you're like, right?
Then I'm automatically going to be in favor of that.
Yeah.
I worry that with the more than likely work stoppage in 2027 and the fan base is coming off a terrible year, then 1 year of no baseball, I don't know what the Redbirds could do to bring those fans back in 2028. Also, I'm with trading Arenado. I get there will be a lot of money the Cardinals will have to pay, but they should at least get something for it as far as prospects. I'm not saying the top 15 talent of whatever organization they trade with, but I think it would be a big mistake to get nothing in return that could help the future. Also, do you really trust this organization to develop young players? I don't. Why? I don't, why is it when they leave they always do better? Cardinals are in a bad spot and are very close to losing the majority of the fan base. Love, TMA Walrus #1. Jake is a very nice man. We just see the world differently sometimes, and I can respect his perspective, even if I disagree with it. I do not care if the Cardinals are awful in 2026 because the Cardinal fans will come back passionately, with perhaps more passion than before, at least in this decade, minus the Pools year of 22, when the team starts to show a fire, and they will spend money. I promise you that. The thing is, they did spend money over the last decade. They just did it terribly. That is why they have to pay money to get rid of Sonny Gray, and pay money to get rid of Nolan Arenado, and possibly pay money to get rid of Wilson Contreras. That conversation never comes up. It's like they don't spend money. Well, then why are they lighting money on fire to get rid of guys? But that's inconvenient to the populist narrative, which is Bill DeWitt doesn't spend money and he's hoarding money, and then you get a bunch of likes. But actually sitting down and looking at it, you go, well, they did have a pretty high payroll. They just spent it on the wrong people. And then you get into the Nolan Arenado thing. Sure, I would love to get somebody in return, but I'm looking at it through the prism of what is reality, and also knowing that Chaim Bloom is of the opinion that they are going to have to eat shit in order to get him out of town. So if you gave me a choice of having Nolan Arenado and getting something of value in return, of course I would take that. The reason why I say I don't care is because I don't believe that is going to be an option. I hope I have explained my perspective as accurately as possible. And I still don't necessarily expect to win people over, but that is my reasoning. But see, I haven't read all these, so I have no idea what I'm reading, and we're live. Let's see. Holy shit, this is a long email. Look how long, well, you can't see it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can read it or not. That's the risk of when I don't read them. Yeah, we got a bunch of emails, and I don't know, but it's really long. Let's see. This one's long, too. God bless America. Unclassified. Good day, Tim and Jackson. I've had a new job for the last year that I can't have my phone at work, so I can't text with the regularity that I used to be able to do. But I still can consume the show every day, whether it's via YouTube Live or Spotify, catching up later PLTDing. My question for you guys is, what is the best way for me to listen to get you guys the best numbers for the show?
What a nice text. What a nice
That's an interesting text. I can't log into YouTube, so I just watch/listen to the show without logging in. But I do have to log in to my Spotify account to PLTD if I'm catching up later. I also have my Apple Podcast app that is subscribed to the show, so I get all the episodes downloaded that way. Sorry for the long way around this. Just want to make sure I'm helping you guys out the best way possible, because I still can't get enough of the show. Thanks as always, boys. That's from Flip Wilson, unclassified.
Great. Well, so nice.
Ladies and gentlemen. I saw it was from Flip Wilson, so I knew it was
good guy.
Safe and brief. I'll read all of them. When I haven't read them before, I'm live. I don't know. You would be able to answer that better than me. I have no idea.
So if he's subscribed on Apple,
I gotta blow my nose,
or Spotify,
step off cam.
No matter here, I'll turn your mic off so they can't see you honk your horn there. Oh, subscribing is the best way, because that way, anytime that both on YouTube and on podcasts, whatever podcast platform, subscribing to the page. It would be the best form if you're looking to help us out in any way. Subscribe.
That was such a great fill. I blew my nose, as opposed to hello, which I believe was at March of 22.
Yeah, I'm advancing.
23.
I'm advancing. I blocked that out of my memory.
You blocked that out. Let's say, hey Tim, I find Wright Thompson fascinating. I really like the Truth South series he does. Were you aware of Wright, or did you ever cross paths with him while you were at Mizzou? I believe we're the same age, but he was in the Prince sequence. I can't imagine that exists anymore, but maybe I say this like everybody knows what I'm talking about. The journalism school at Missouri had a broadcasting sequence, is what it was called.
Just like the subsidiary, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I was in. Then there was I think it was called Magazine, which I thought was strange at the time. So now to say it 27 years later is weird. I don't know, but I think, and then print, and maybe there was another one. But either way, Wright Thompson, you're familiar with Wright Thompson? Oh, you're not familiar with him, really?
No.
Wow. Have you ever watched the Ole Miss 30 for 30? Well, that's a good one. No. He voices that. He does a lot of voiceover work, and he does some great. I thought he was a Ringer guy. Maybe I'm off. He must not be, because you would definitely know him. Anyway, to answer Clint's question, I did not cross paths with him, and I'm always, anytime like I read something of his, I'm like, man, it was really fucking good, or that 30 for 30 on Ole Miss. I think it's called Ghosts of the South, maybe. God, I might watch that now that I'm thinking about it again. I always go, God, I wonder if Wright and I ever, because the journalism school,
He's 2 years older than you.
Oh, he's 51?
Are you 49?
What the fuck do you think I am?
I thought you were 47.
Really?
Yeah.
I was at a sales meeting the other day, and there was a lady who maybe was at the most 10 years older than me. I mean, I would guess she would have been 55. She goes, oh, I've been here 35 years. She goes, probably longer than you've been alive.
That's
and I go, I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, ha, ha, ha. And I go, no, I'm really.
I thought I maybe.
And I'm like, and she goes, that's not like funny. I go, no, I am 49 years old.
Yeah, he's 49, so okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to know your coworkers.
My bad.
I corrected somebody who was like blowing you on the air today too. Somebody called in and talked about how great you were. He goes, yeah, and you're 28. I was 27.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Returning the favor.
Yeah. Unbelievable here. What's going on? Guys, we're getting a used set of batting practice balls for Nolan. That's from
I'll take that.
No Life Drew 5825.
Hell of a name.
Iggy says, buy, learn a drink from me tonight. Do we have to pay for the drink?
So we... I like the idea of we pay for the drink, but it's from Iggy. I usually, last year we had like 2 drink tickets.
Uh-oh. Too fat to kayak. Says Tim, monitor the traffic on God's Highway 364 on your next trip to Elevate. Be careful. It's been bumper to bumper.
It's going to be 1:30. I don't see bumper-to-bumper traffic at 1:30.
Holy shit. Yeah, well, that's where Jackson and I are heading here. Yeah. Are you able to go, like, right away?
I mean, I have to.
Should I do a little stretching process out there before I hit balls?
Yeah, you do that.
There's a gym in there.
I got to upload the podcast, so.
And then the party's at 3 o'clock.
And I have to tape I have a problem with my car, Tim. A brief moment here.
Oh, what do we got going on here?
I have
a new whip?
No,
whip,
I have like a
whip,
protective thing, like I call it a shell. It's just a
car condom.
Plastic cover at the bottom of my car, right under the hood on the bottom side. And a piece has come detached. Because of the snow, it got ripped off a little bit. So my plan is to take some duct tape and Hoosier that bad boy up and
Look
tape
at you.
Because right now it's dragging on.
Doing that.
It's dragging on the ground, and I'm nervous it's going to spark. So I'm gonna have to tape that bitch up. So you have to give me 10 minutes.
Tape on your whip.
I'm gonna. Well, on the bottom, no one can see it. And my car is kind of duct tape colored. So
can I ask you a question that you wouldn't answer on TMA, but you would answer on this?
Yeah, I want you to ask me.
Were you meeting a lass at Sasha's?
Yeah.
I can tell you. But you didn't even know that you're.
Yeah, I can't tell you. My mandible started moving.
Actually, that's what there was. There was a loosening of the flesh.
Yeah.
That I can tell you were like, oh fuck, he's asking this. When Stephen Wilder saw you?
Yeah, I was on a date.
Okay. And you've clearly chosen to, as opposed to your previous lass, you are not going to be talking about this publicly going forward.
I just say if it comes up, I'll mention it. But I'm not going to be like, hey, fellas, you know what I did.
So you will, like,
night.
if you had a girlfriend, you would talk about it.
Yeah, which I don't.
I know, but I'm just like saying, I thought that you like, yeah, that wasn't really what I wanted. Like one of gluten-free perks things was, honestly, was she's like, I really like doing the show, but I don't really want my whole life to be out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of the
fair point.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's pretty astute, especially for somebody who lives on social media like she does.
Right. No, I was on a date, so yeah, I'll say that. I thought I said.
Have you gone back for more?
No.
One time only. It was ruined by Stephen Wildwood?
No, not the case.
That's what it sounds like.
Not the case.
All right, I'm going to do one more and then we got to go because Jackson's going to be hitting his 7-iron, 185
Gotta upload
yards.
this. I got to tape my car.
It's going to be unbelievable. Hey, Tim, happy Thanksgiving. This drink extension, this came on Friday. This drink extension hoopla has me confused. It's entirely possible I'm missing something, but isn't this just kicking the can down the road? Won't we just be in the same position next year when some big jobs open and he's linked to them? It's great that we've secured him for another year. Don't get me wrong, but the reaction to this news makes it seem like it's an indication of a long-term commitment when in reality that's not actually the case. He'll just have a bigger buyout, I assume, larger salary to walk away from, bigger perks for staff, NIL to walk away from, etc. If you already have posted your thoughts, sorry I missed them. I'm not on social media. Oh, God bless you. But eager to get your take on this, as I fear we'll be doing the same dance every year, regardless of extension deals. Thanks and happy notable winter holiday. That is from John. And Beer Cats just sent a Venmo $10 to buy a drink for Learn. Iggy gets cucked again. So Beer Cats has just sent me $10.
Wow. It's going to sting.
Wonder if Iggy's still...
Every coach is on a one-year contract.
Yes, I liked the email, and I did read that because it came over the 4-day weekend, so I'll go ahead and read it, and plus talk about Drinkwitz's contract extension next week will be real dated. It's kind of dated now, but I'm happy to answer his question on his premise. John, no last name, please. I agree with your premise. So the question becomes, then the overall premise is, I mean, just because he's not doing it this year doesn't mean he won't do it next year.
Yeah.
Correct. I disagreed with Gabe DeArmond's column, but I realize many people who are listening to this will not be familiar with the column. Plus, as we're recording this, it's a week-old column. But essentially, and this isn't fair to Gabe because I don't have it up in front of me, he was saying today Missouri fans have always wanted somebody to choose them, and today that's what Missouri fans got. And at the time, I really didn't believe that. And by that, I mean, I don't know.
Or by the other offers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I have to say, because Gabe in that column said something along the lines of, you know, it depends on what you believe, but my understanding is he did have an offer from Penn State, or something was on the table from Penn State, and also Florida for that matter. I don't know if the Florida one went as far as the Penn State one. And I'm just like, okay, you know. And now, a week later, seeing the Penn State situation, and Gabe was on the Penn State thing for a while, as were Penn State people, which just blew my mind. And that's not like, it's not like I'm not high on Eli. So I'm in this weird, I don't know who's with me on the Drinkwitz thing, because people are like, oh, you hate Drinkwitz, that's why you published that spreadsheet. And I'm like, not at all. I want him to stay.
Right.
It's just, here's a piece of information.
Some data, right.
Was it you I was texting with? No, it was James Carlton. He goes, hey, I was listening to that SEC podcast, and they actually cited your spreadsheet as if it was like an investigation. And I go, all I did was just look up coaches' records.
There's no agenda behind it.
Well, no, but I mean, but it speaks to the state of our industry that I took it, like, I don't even know, an hour out of my Sunday afternoon and just entered in coaches' records against teams that finished, you know, SEC play against an SEC school with a winning record, that finished with a winning record, because that is objective. That is what they did. Ranked is subjective. Like, you can't shit on the polls and then go, but they were ranked then, that whole song and dance. This is objective, and that will determine, with an 8-game sample size, how a school and a team performs. It wasn't an agenda. It was just an observation that against Alabama, against Vanderbilt, and against Texas A&M, Eli Drinkwitz, once again, had 3 opportunities to win a game as a head coach that would have earned him credibility nationally and in particular in the SEC. Because Missouri fans in a Missouri bubble go, we don't get any respect. And SEC fans will go, that's because you won the SEC East when it was down in 13 and 14, and you are benefiting from what winds up being a friendly schedule in recent years. Whether people like that or not, unfortunately, then I provide the data, and it kind of validates it.
Right.
So, but it wasn't done because I want him to stay. And there were people in the TMA text line going, man, your graph's going to lead him to quitting. Going, the information's there.
Yeah.
This wasn't like an interview.
What if you win a Pulitzer for that spreadsheet?
I couldn't believe, and I said to James, I said, oh my God, like the fact that, like, that was like an eye-opening thing. It was just like, it was just entering in data. It was data entry. It's like, oh, a guy in ESPN in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Well, what was his investigation? Well, he entered numbers into a spreadsheet. Oh, fuck. What's going on with him?
Public information, by the way.
Jesus, what a fucking disaster of an industry. What's a worse industry, honestly? I swear.
It's the title of the podcast.
What's a worse industry?
What's a worse industry?
Honestly, ... honestly. I really believe our industry has ruined the world. So therefore...
It's a nice positive note to leave
I
us
mean,
on.
I really do. I mean, because it's... I do believe that, though. The fuck was I talking about? Drinkwitz' record. Well, yeah. So the question will become, because Missouri fans got tired of Mike Anderson. He was with the Suitcase Mike.
Yeah.
Now, this may predate you, but it was like every year there was somebody new. And they were like, okay, enough. Right. And then finally it was Arkansas where he was Nolan Richardson's assistant, and he's gone. So if this pops up again next year, and there will be openings that you can't foresee next year.
For sure.
What will happen?
But that's every coach. Every coach is on a one-year contract, in a way.
Theoretically, my point is this. Just because he didn't go this time doesn't mean he won't go. But it also doesn't mean that he will. But either way, this is it. So that's kind of one of those things. Like, people get mad at me because I'm not into bowls. The fact that I'm not into bowls should impact your enjoyment of bowls in zero ways. I recall saying on this very podcast how strangely excited I was when I found out that Ella Reese and Abigail Mack were doing a scene together. Right. Now, if somebody would email in, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you excited about it? It wouldn't impact my enthusiasm for watching that scene in any way. And I wouldn't write back, why aren't you excited about watching Ella Reese and Abigail Mack perform oral on each other? Yeah. It's not going to impact me anyway. So the fact that I didn't fucking care about Iowa and Missouri, why does that bother you?
It pissed me off.
And I promise you, somebody suckling from the teat of these bowls over the next 4 weeks when some guy makes a big tackle or a big play to win a game in front of 10,000 people and 500,000 degenerates who are sweating the game because they have nothing to do during the holidays. That wasn't meant as a personal attack at many of you, because I'll probably have money on it too.
Yeah.
And then the broadcaster, the play-by-play goes, tell me these kids don't care about bulls. They are happy because they're getting paid, and that means more money for themselves. Yeah. But as far as the outcome goes, it doesn't mean anything. Now, if it means something to you, that's great. It's like if you believe in a certain religion, that's wonderful. I'd prefer you keep it out of law. Yep. But I've just kind of come to terms with...
We're going the opposite direction there.
Right. But it is what it is. So, yes, I'm excited about the Abigail Mack Ella Reese scene. You can email me and tell me I'm wrong for looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm still, it's my enthusiasm. You can be excited for Missouri playing Iowa State in the Texas Bowl, should that come to fruition. I might have it on in the background. When Missouri played Mississippi State, my wife and I went to dinner, and one of my friends, our head pro, who is a wonderful gentleman, who's a Kansas guy, was texting me going, this game is unwatchable. I go, I can agree. I'm at the bar at Louis, and I'm literally not watching it because it doesn't mean anything. Now, I'm sure some Missouri fans, Shipley Pibble said he's not going to send me pictures of his wife anymore because I took Mississippi State.
I was there. I was boots on the ground.
For that?
People were giving a fuck there.
You were at the game.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were like...
No, I wasn't at Louis, no. But everyone in the stands I was hearing were mad. Either like...
They were pissed.
They were like, I'd be really fired up for that touchdown, but Tim said he didn't care. So.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I never understand that. That I don't like... and if you can like it, that's great. Right. What I think the core of why it bothers me isn't about fans. It's when coaches would take bowl games and turn it into something like that deep down they know it's not.
Right.
Or that we went to a bowl game and try to hold it to like a 1990 standard when only a handful of teams went and you didn't... It's like this fucking thing that goes on with 10-win seasons now. Dan Devine didn't get to coach 12 games, 4 of which were against butt-asses. So stop with the 10-win season thing. Fuck me. Lane Kiffin has brought Ole Miss 3 of their 4 10-win seasons in history. No shit. If the Cardinals started playing 200 games a year and won 100 games, it'd change the dynamic, wouldn't it?
Would.
God damn it. This stuff's so fucking basic. And yet people accept it as truth. Like I said, our industry has destroyed the world. I'm just talking about the sports industry. I'm not even going to the news industry. All right, let's go hit both balls at Ellis.
Let's do it.
Jackson's got to go put tape on his car.
I do have to put tape on my car.
Thank you to James Carlton. Thank you to Seth Goldcamp. Thank you to Mark Hanna for their sponsorship of this podcast. What's the title of this?
What's a worse industry? ... Honestly.
This has been the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Thank you.